stuff here. What level, do you think, even just with a day of practice, you think you can get him now that he sees himself on tape and puts himself in?
I mean, again, it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight. He's not going to be completely on the same page with us right now. But just like anything, he's new to the system. He's new to us. But thank goodness, it seems like his basketball IQ is pretty high. So it helps out a lot.
It seemed like Quinn was speaking to him a bunch on the bench yesterday during the game. Has he been kind of assigned to him to shepherd him through this process, or is it a whole collective effort from all the time?
It's a collective effort. I think Chuck went and picked him up in the hotel and take him over, and so it's a little bit of here, a little bit of this. But what happened on the bench is, if you look at how we sit, I think Q's to my left, then Chuck, then Quinn, and then a player. And so it just made sense to me to make sure, I told my guys to make sure Ramon sat next to the last coach, which is always Quinn, and to stand his ear, talk him through everything that we're doing defensively and offensively.
What's your early take of how you guys are different seeing him there? I know it's just one game, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's early, but, obviously, it's just all the stuff that we were talking about yesterday. You can see his explosiveness, his quickness, his ability to get to the paint, make plays for himself, make plays for other, and he's just 24 years old or something like that doing that, so all that stuff is good stuff.
Is he better suited to run the kind of offense that you like?
Yeah, I mean, he gives us like I said, a different dimension. The reality of it is we finally had spent some time together, and we were starting to play better as a team, and that's all it is. And now you add a guy like that to this team, and it gives you another dimension of what you can do out there on the floor, and so it makes it harder for teams to have to prepare against you. Because you got something different that we didn't have before, and that's what makes it exciting.
So when you're talking about the team's progression in terms of its chemistry, in what ways did it make it easier for him to kind of ingratiate himself in that lineup?
Well, just from the simple fact that most of the guys now, because we've been together for a while, have a feel for what I want and and how I can help them, and I have a feel for what they want and how I can help them, and then how they can help each other and what each of them wants together. So, it's just time together, and he's a player, and he's an open court player, he's a pick and roll player, he's a speed player, he's an assist player, and anytime you can have those types of guys on a team that know how to play the game of basketball the right way, it makes it easier for everybody else.
Mike, Andrew uncharacteristically struggled with the foul line, or the first couple months of the season he was around like 50-60%. Now he's up to 70-80. Can that make a big difference in the overall team game if you have a big guy making a foul like that?
It makes a huge difference because he's getting a lot of touches. We're trying to get him that ball, and he's being aggressive when he gets it, and he's getting hit, and he's getting to the free throw line. And so when you have your bigs that are capable of making free throws like Powell and Andrew, especially down the stretch of a tight ball game, it makes a difference when they get the paint touches and they go to work.
Mike, we talked about Sessions, just ability in the pick and roll, and is that, whether it's practice or in games, does it just take time to develop chemistry with an individual guy, like Bynum and Gasol, just to sort of know, okay, where do they like to cut off a bit, what angles to take?
Yeah, it takes time, and again, the tough part about it, and everybody's going through it, but we can't. I don't know if we can have any more contact practices. But you'd like to be able to have some contact practices so you can coach in that situation. But the reality of it is, I don't know if we can afford to do that with the way our schedule is. I thought earlier in the year when we were going through some tough times, it was great when the schedule opened up a little bit and we were able to have some contact practices so we can coach in a practice environment, and which I think helps you even get more on the same page. And it's unfortunate we won't be able to do that, but I think these guys are intelligent. I think these guys are hungry, and I think with the veterans that we have on this team, they can talk our guys through whatever they need to figure out on the floor through the course of all games.